This happened when we lived in Scotland, a quiet housing estate, neat little rows of homes, streetlights that buzzed when the mist rolled in, the kind of place where nothing ever happens, which is exactly why you notice when something does. People on the estate used to talk, not loudly, not like gossip, more like warnings disguised as jokes. They'd say the houses were built over old ground, an old miners' cemetery, men who went down into the earth and never came back up, buried quick, buried close, no grand headstones, just soil, time, and silence. I didn't buy it. I'm not the ghost story type. I like facts, locks, logic. If something goes bump in the night, it's pipes, or the cat, or the wind. Except we didn't have a cat. And that night, there was no wind. It was 3 a.m. That specific kind of 3 a.m. where the world feels paused. No cars, no voices, no movement. Just that heavy, thick quiet that makes you aware of your own breathing. I was asleep. Proper asleep. Then my wife nudged me hard. Not gently, not half awake. Hard. Did you hear that? I sat up, instantly annoyed, instantly alert. What? There was a noise downstairs. And right away, your brain does what it always does. It reaches for the sensible answer first. An intruder. Someone's broken in. Someone's in the house. I listened. Nothing. No footsteps. No creak. No whisper. No TV flicker. No clink of glass. Just silence. But my wife was wide awake now, staring at the bedroom door like she expected it to open on its own. I heard it, she said again. Downstairs, in the kitchen. I got out of bed. No hero music, no brave speech. Just that cold, practical feeling of, right, let's deal with this. I moved to the landing. The house was dark, the kind of dark that feels deeper at night, like the shadows have weight. I stood there, listening, still nothing. But then, a faint sound. Not a bang, not a crash. A soft dragging, like something heavy being pulled slowly across a hard floor. It came from below, from the kitchen. Every nerve in my body tightened. I crept down the stairs. And here's the thing about stairs at night. Every step feels like a decision you can't undo. Each creak is loud enough to announce you to whatever's waiting at the bottom. Halfway down, I stopped, listened again. Silence. I reached the bottom step. The hallway was darker than the landing. The air felt damp, not wet, just stale, like it hadn't moved in hours. I could see the kitchen door. Closed. I reached for the switch. Click. The kitchen light snapped on, and for a second, my brain couldn't process what I was seeing, because the kitchen floor, our clean kitchen floor, had footprints across it. Fresh, muddy, boot prints, big ones. Not a smudge, not a faint mark. Clear tread patterns, heel, toe, weight, as if someone had walked in from outside, straight across the kitchen. I stood there frozen, staring. How? Because the back door was right there. The kitchen door to the garden, the one with the bolt, the chain, the latch. I walked to it without taking my eyes off the room. I checked it, bolted, chain on, latch down, locked. I checked the windows, latched, no damage, no prying, no cracks, no forced entry. I checked the front door, locked, deadbolt, everything secure. And then the real fear arrived. Not the fear of a burglar, the fear of something that doesn't need a door. I went back to the kitchen floor. The footprints were laid out like a path, a trail. They started near the back door and crossed the kitchen tiles, right past the sink, right past the table. And then they stopped near the doorway, not at the doorway, near it, as if whoever made them had paused, turned, and decided where to go next. I followed them with my eyes, and that's when I felt my stomach drop, because the tracks didn't lead out. They didn't loop back to the door. They didn't head to a window. They didn't go anywhere that made sense. They led to the bottom of the stairs, and then they went up. 1 step, 2 steps, 3, muddy boot prints climbing the staircase. But here's the part that still makes my skin crawl. There were no prints coming down, only up. Like something entered the house, walked through the kitchen, and climbed toward the bedrooms, and never left. I stood there staring at the stairs, the light from the kitchen stretching into the hallway like it didn't want to go any further. Up there was darkness. Up there was where my wife was. Up there was where I had been sleeping. And suddenly I understood something I'd never properly respected before. A locked house doesn't mean a safe house. Not if the thing you're dealing with doesn't care about locks. I called up to my wife, trying to keep my voice steady. "Stay in the bedroom. Don't come out." She asked what it was. I didn't answer. Because, what do you say? There are footprints in the kitchen, and they're climbing the stairs. I took one step onto the first stair, and I swear, hand on heart, I felt the temperature change. Not like a draft, like the air itself got heavier, thicker, like walking into a room where an argument has just happened, except nobody's there. I looked at the prints. The mud was still wet. That's what got me. Wet mud doesn't last long indoors. It dries, it dulls, it fades. These looked new, as if they'd appeared minutes ago, as if whatever made them was still close enough for the mud to still be fresh. I didn't hear breathing. I didn't hear movement, but I felt watched. And I know how that sounds. I know. But when you're standing in a silent house at 3 a.m., staring at footprints that shouldn't exist, logic stops being your comfort blanket. It becomes your enemy. Because logic has no answer. I climbed another step, then another, and I stopped again. Because the prints didn't just go up the stairs, they angled slightly, toward the landing, toward the corridor, toward the bedroom door, toward us. I didn't go any further. Not because I'm brave, not because I'm smart, because something in me, something old and animal, said, don't. Like stepping forward would be agreeing to something, inviting it, acknowledging it. So I backed down, slowly, eyes fixed on those prints. I went back into the kitchen and checked everything again. Every lock, every latch, every window. Perfect. Sealed. And yet the evidence was right there on the floor. A trail from nowhere to upstairs. By morning, the mud had dried. The prints were still there, like a photograph burned into the tiles. We cleaned them, scrubbed them, and as the marks faded, the feeling didn't, because the question stayed. If it wasn't a person, if the doors were bolted, if the windows were latched, then what walked through my kitchen at 3 a.m., and where did it go? People on the estate kept telling their little stories after that. About the miners, about the cemetery, about the ground beneath the houses being disturbed, about things that don't like being built over. I still don't know what I believe, but I know what I saw. Fresh, muddy boot prints in a locked house. That didn't lead out. They led up. And if you're listening to this late at night, in your own home, in your own quiet, just remember something. Some things don't just go bump in the night, they move in. What would you do if you saw footprints appearing on your clean kitchen floor of a locked house? Let us know in the comments.